Hey guys, it's Paul Jang, and we are doing number 14 on Shopify's list for our passive income stream ideas. This is lending money to peers. And so I took a look at it. I read a book about creating multiple streams of income, and they recommended this as something really good. I found that for individuals, I think Prosper is really good. So basically, you could get historically between 5 to 6%. The more you lend, the higher cash flow will be. And I think what I like about this more than stock investing is because the stock market will have dips. They'll go up and then down, depending on the market. I think historically it'll go up, but I think with this, you could consistently expect a return because every month they will be paying you off. I don't know if that makes sense. Like with a stock investment, you're hoping that the company will um, make a profit, and over time, the market will recognize that this is a good company and will appreciate. And there's some companies that will give a dividend, but generally, this is you are acting like the bank, right? It's very similar to land investing. So maybe I'm drawn to this a little bit more because you know you should be consistently getting some kind of return, whereas with stocks you'll have high spikes and high, you know, spikes and then downs, and you have to kind of wither that, right? With lending money to peers, you might get a default here or there, but over if you invest in multiple people, you should get a consistent return month by month. And I think it's a lot more emotionally, it's emotionally easier to deal with it than I think the stock market. But with that said, we had our criteria. That's my video titles list. My criteria over here, I didn't have risk of money, but uh, when I did the stock investing video, but I've now put that, and it's changed the scores. Lending money to peers is higher than land investing. So that kind of surprised me. It is right now the only type of income stream that's higher than land investing. Um, the stock market one was pretty close. It's closer to 70% as a passive income stream, but I am actually going to look at this more closely in the future. So here's the one that they recommend, Lending Club. I tried looking at it. It was a little bit difficult to find the lending portion of the business and what are these for businesses. I know there's different ones out there. I've seen one for like investing into cattle and some other things. But basically, the way I see it is they've kind of laid out the field for people to get loans, but also for people to invest in other people and getting an interest rate from that. So here's Prosper. So it says invest in personal loans, get started. They have an institution. The average historical rate is 5.7, which I think is pretty good, especially if you could start with a smaller amount and just start diversifying in multiple loans. Like, you'll have one person for a car, another person for another car, another person for a house. Um, maybe not a house, but maybe, for whatever purchase that they want to make, but you have a variety of different loans, and each person could have a high credit score or a low credit score, and all of that's going to be being um, played in to for you to figure out, what kind of person they are when they're going to get this loan. So you can invest small portions or high portion, like big amounts. I kind of think sticking with smaller portions with a lot of people is kind of the way to go. And then basically you can earn interest as borrowers make monthly payments. I kind of think this is actually really good. So basically, you get 2 to 5 year personal loans. So there is kind of this fixed monthly payment aspect where you will get a return every month, every time they make the payment. And it's a uh, hands off or hands on as you choose. So you can fine tune your investment portfolio, or you can just set it and forget it, and you just auto invest. And if you look, they have different grades for the type of loans you're gonna get. And so, like, so your auto. investing, people that are looking for cars, you have here a very low risk and a very high risk or a mixed rate, right? And it changes your risk factor. I think it's good to get some kind of mixture until you figure out what you feel more comfortable with. Are you okay with a lower return, but you're consistently going to get money, or are you okay with a higher return and some fluctuation? And I think what I like about this compared to, stock investing is you're gonna get a return every month. You're literally becoming a bank. Whereas with stock investing, it's kind of not like that. It's heavily reliant on the market itself if it's doing well or not. In this, you're basically getting debt. You are now the person that's investing and they owe you something. So I really like that idea. It's very similar to the land investing world, where this one, where you basically um, buy something and you sell it for owner financing, and so you are now the bank. So maybe I like lending money to peers because it's very closely related to land investing, in the sense that you are the bank and you know, people owe you that money. It's not just, you're hoping for a dividend or for a business to prosper, like with the stock. You are now the bank. I think I said it enough, but uh, I'm gonna look at this a lot more closely than you know, than in the past. After doing this exercise, I'm like shocked that it's higher. The location specific is it scalable? It's more scalable because if you're making money and you're putting into this, you're gonna get a return, right? It's, I'd say, easier than land investing in the sense like land investing takes me 2 to 3 hours a week, but this is gonna take uh, less time. Your money invest. Okay, so I think this might be a little bit lower. It might be closer to three because I think you're gonna start seeing results when you have a more significant amount of money into a pile, right? So, um, getting kind of return requires you to invest more significant amounts of money. So, your risk, I would say, is pretty low. I'm gonna put this a little bit higher. But yeah, I'm liking this lending money to peers. So if you want this spreadsheet, I'm listing out all sorts of income streams and businesses and I'm looking at to see how passive it really is, putting scores with them, getting criteria. This is being amped up. If you want this spreadsheet with all of them, check it out in the description below. And if you're interested in land investing, it is how my wife and I were able to quit our jobs. Um, if you're interested in that, check it out in the description below as well. Subscribe, like, I appreciate your time. Thanks. Take care.